Naku. Thank you, Naku-sir. Thank you so much for your amazing story. And wow, man, Mr. Bob, Mr. David, you guys sure celebrity. Look at how much abundance that added onto you, and how you guys stick true to your roots. You know, thank you for standing still, representing Enagic for us, to give us this pathway for us to, you know, to share that wealth and the relationship. And because of Echo was saying love, I mean, could you ever imagine Burmese people on your team, Bob? I mean, even not just for Enagic, but just meeting people. The world isn't that big after all, right?
Amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you, Echo.
Very good.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you, Cami, for having us on today.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey, this is the first time David and I are doing this together.
I
Yes.
know.
Well, since we used to do demos together 14 years ago.
Yes. We used to do this all day long.
Okay.
We love it.
So where do we have? Are you going to ask us questions? How do you
No,
want your format to be?
All right. That's where I come in, you guys. I have
All
you
right, Cami.
Yes.
So where are you at, in Germany?
I'm in Germany now since almost 2 years, but
Wow,
I'm
Amazing.
still
awesome.
both places.
So we have people on from all over the world on the site today?
Oh, that's right. You bet. Where's
And
we
it's
have
about
from Dubai, Philippines.
Dubai, hello. That's one place I haven't been there. I want to see Dubai.
Yeah, we should go together.
Welcome.
Antonio, that's you, my brother. That's him in Dubai.
Wow.
See you soon.
Where's Antonio?
Oh,
Oh,
there
hey,
it is.
Antonio. Hey, we got a K8 in Dubai. Woo! Good job.
We love it.
Yeah, so the last time I saw Bob was in the Philippines, 2018, where we were waiting for Gary Gann. Remember that time, Bob? And you had
Yeah, I
to
had to
sit
stall
for
for
4 hours.
I had to stall for 3 or 4 hours and talk. I didn't know I could talk so long.
That's, you took over the whole show. Yes, 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 you did. Okay, these are your questions. And because we're very curious as to who you were before Enagic, of course. Yes, I mean, you know, where did
Who,
you
is that the
start?
first question? Who we were before Enagic?
Yes, who you were before you Enagic. What
We
you
were on the
stand-
Laurel and Hardy show.
We were a comedy team in Vegas. Did you see our show?
We used to do here. Wait, I gotta do David's makeup before going on.
You guys. So
No,
that's-
well, we better get serious.
yes, yes. So who
You guys,
were-
hey, you guys, if you don't have fun doing this business,
exactly.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When David and I first started, well, let me say who I was before. I mean, I was Bob Gridelli before. He was David Lesman before. He was a doctor before, though. So, you know, but, you know, in just a quick story, because I know we don't have a lot of time, I have to get out of here in 30 minutes to take my daughter horseback riding. Fridays are horseback riding lessons. So we got to make this the short story.
Yeah, yeah. Unless
So-
they want to hang out with me for 4 hours.
Yeah, I'll leave you with David for 4 hours. You know, I was kind of entrepreneur from a young age. I turned a hobby from high school into a business, and it never went to college or anything. So I didn't get any degrees or anything like some of you might have there. And but I knew I didn't want to work for somebody else. And so half of my life I was in the automotive trim industry. And then I got introduced to this amazing industry of direct sales, network marketing, whatever you want to call it, where I could build a network of people, of like-minded, like-thinking, success-minded people moving in the same direction, right? And that got me really excited, you know, not the brick and mortar business that I had. And, you know, I didn't have to have any employees and no overhead, and I could be free to travel the world, which, you know, we love to travel and build a business all over the world from wherever you're at. And that was what really excited me about this industry that I got into, you know, maybe 20 years ago. And like many of us, I went through about 6 different companies that most of them went out of business. And that's when I was introduced to Enagic, 14, we just celebrated our 14-year anniversary, hard to believe.
Amazing.
Can you believe 14 years? It seems like yesterday.
It went fast, though. We
And-
have fun.
And so I got introduced to this by a good friend of mine, invested in after seeing the product demonstration, I invested in an SD501 right away because I left that presentation understanding one thing: living water, dead water. And we all understand living foods are beneficial for the body and dead foods, and I knew I didn't eat enough living foods. So here was an opportunity to introduce living water to my body. So it was a no-brainer for me. I invested in a SD501 right away, put it on a credit card, had no intention of doing the business though. And for those of you who heard my story, I told Eli Daffish no 20 different times that I'm not interested. I was interested in the product. So I was just a customer at first. I'm gonna say we have to be careful about testimonials. So I'm not talking about any diseases, you guys. Hi, Danny. And so, I'm gonna just be generic. I started drinking the water.
So changed.
And I noticed more energy, sleeping better, lost 10 pounds in 4 weeks, and no more swelling in my knees. That's my story. That's my product story I've had for 14 years. And so what do we do when something good happens to us? We start sharing with the people we care about. You guys, it was just that simple. David, one of my good friends I've known for 30 years. And, when that happened to me, I hadn't noticed that from drinking water for 49 years of my life, right? So that became a pretty big deal. And so I figured out I had the best thing that helped someone with their health, right in our own home, and it was water. So I started sharing with the people I cared about most first, right? Your core circle of influence. I think I got this greatest technology. Who am I going to share it with first? Strangers or friends and family, right? First, I'm going to talk to friends and family. Not that I'm going to not talk to strangers, and I did some of that too in between introducing friends and family wherever I'd meet, just like Betty was talking about, you meet people wherever you go. And we just started sharing this message to people, and it just started to spread. And, now we've got a team that spans the world, as some of you are on here, and, it's just incredible. I would have never guessed what would have happened 14 years ago, just investing in an SD501, that it would spread to, I think, 150,000 people on our team now all over the world, and growing by something like 3,000, units a month. So it's been absolutely a blessing. We thank God every day, number one and foremost. And then we thank Mr. and Mrs. Oshiro for, being the messengers to deliver the message to the people who got it first, which trickled down to us, which is trickling down to all of you. And so all of us just become the messengers. Just like Betty said, they call us celebrities, but you guys, you're celebrities. We're all celebrities in Enagic. We're all messengers, delivering the message of compassion to the human race. And that's pretty much it. I'll let David share his quick story.
Bob, before you go, one quick question.
I'm not going. I'm going to be right.
Yeah. I read somewhere, because I had to read up on you guys, of course, aside from
I got
the
parking tickets.
conversations. I have to know what I'm talking about. I read somewhere that you are a original Kangen demo king. You can't refute that, and that's why your demo was was always the first one that was given to us as newcomers, right? I read somewhere that you made copies of about 16,000, and that went like hotcake, and that helped boom the sales in your business. Is that right? Is that correct?
No, I mean,
Not really.
I don't know.
The videos we made.
Yeah, I don't know how many
Yeah.
copies got distributed. We weren't really in control of the DVDs. We didn't produce that. We didn't make any money on those DVDs. That was a friend of Daniel, Stan, who that's his business. And Stan professionally does that. That's why that DVD was so good, the production. it was a production done with, you know, production crew, cameras, everything professionally. And so Stan was in charge of, you know, duplicating, distributing, and we just, you know, we're the messengers once again. So you know, it could be that, but we didn't make those copies. So I can't really answer that question.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
It did its job though, let's put it that way. You know,
Oh,
we
yeah.
never knew that
But
it would go all over the world, and, you know, I speak, I don't know, 10 different languages, and, you know, we didn't know that would happen, and it did, and anything we can do to help spread the Enagic around the world.
Speaking of that, Bob, it's still being used today. In fact, I have it in my website. That's my go-to demo anyway. So it's still alive. There's
Sure, no more DVDs, just think, they're obsolete.
That's right.
You can go use them as a Frisbee.
yes.
You know, now everything's online, you know, hex people on the websites, you know.
Speaking of languages, Bob, since you touched that, we were going to ask you anyway for assistance for this. Betty and I spoke about it. We have around 25 languages in one of our websites from EWS, right? But we miss Myanmar. So most of the people that come from there don't speak English. So what Betty has been doing, and gosh, Betty is awesome, is translating for each one of them. She has become the administrative person for all the Myanmar people, speaking, writing, whatever it is that they need, filling out applications, because we don't have a Myanmar language that they can follow. So Betty has been traveling to different places to help each one who just came here or in the US, not here, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Thank you so much, Betty.
Myanmar
Thank you,
language.
Betty.
Yes,
And Eku.
and
Yeah,
Eku.
our team is doing it. Yeah, we're training.
Okay. So David here, he has a good relationship with Daryl in Costa Rica, because he's been to Daryl's house in Costa Rica. So let's push David to get them to add a new language to EWS.
There you
I
go.
can
Yes,
call
yes,
those
yes.
guys.
And Betty can do the translation. Betty and Eku.
Eku, yeah, Eku. I've had amazing help with Eku too. Yes, we've
Oh,
been
good.
for sure.
Great.
Awesome. Yeah.
And a lot of times, I think was more powerful when we went together, because we had different personalities in a way. I would do part of the demo. It's good, I think, if you work with someone sometimes, because people sometimes are related to Bob, sometimes they relate to me. I was very messy with the demo. And you know what? People said, well, if this guy could do it and he's a mess and he's unorganized, then anybody can do it. So sometimes if you do things too perfectly, or you're too technical, it's not good. You see, to me, it's just the basics. I never did anything, even though, you know, whatever they want to call me, I'm just a guy from New York, you know, in a poor area originally. So I learned just to do things with, you know, simple, basic things. So I tell people, first, drink the water, be a product of the water. If you don't drink the water, but people would go up to Bob and me and go, wow, you guys look good, you know, right? The best thing was when they know that we first lost like 5 or 10, we weren't overweight, but we trimmed up with the water. We were so excited, we probably never ate because we were on the road all day, you know, and we went really, you know, from morning to night. We call it from 8 to faint.
Working from 8 in the morning till faint at night.
So we would be driving all day. Bob would be falling asleep. I'm spraying beauty water on him. And then when he got so bad, he was, can you imagine to let me drive, crash David? You know? So it got so bad that he let me drive. You know, I said, wow, he must be sleepy. So the thing I tell people is start from the beginning. You know, take your drops with you, put those little bottle of drops, sometimes just having your water and their water, and doing little things wherever we were, from gas stations to Starbucks, anywhere we were, to the gym. Just show people the difference and you get their interest. Once you have their interest, then maybe they would come to a demo, because it's hard to get people just oh, hey, I'm gonna do a demo about this. People don't want to spend their weekend going to people's houses all the time. So I would do a football game, and then at halftime, we just do a quick demo. We don't even tell them, right? Or we do like, a little barbecue.
Yeah, barbecue Sunday.
Yeah, barbecue Sunday at the beach house, and Eli, people would come down, and we had a group of people, and sometimes it's good to have a group because everybody has some different story, and people mingle that don't have the machine. Some people mingle that have the machine, and people go, wow, they relate to this person. So some people relate to different things. So it's good to have a group of people. It's good to be simple and keep it simple. So I always put 3 or 4 jugs of water in my car, right? And I destroyed my first car, got moldy because the water was flying back and forth and opening up. But I noticed if I said, I'm not coming home until I give these 3 gallons or 5 gallons of water out, it made me, it gave me more power, more sales. It helped more, introducing more people, because instead of them just getting a glass, and then when we did demos, I really made the water slow and made them drink. I always was giving them, I said, you have to drink 5 or 6 glasses at the demo. Here's the bathroom, drink the water at the demo. I wanted to make a change as soon as possible, because a lot of times they go home and even if you give them water, they may share it with 5 people and not even get a glass of water, So the whole idea was to make them feel something right away at the demo, whether they had to go pee a lot more. I said it's good to flush them out, detox them, but the simple things are the best. The more complicated people got with websites and this, it's just a one-on-one in the beginning. We don't do it through internet sales mostly. We meet people and we just love the water so much, and we're a product of the water, and they see we're laughing, having fun, because I believe the water makes you feel better inside, makes you happy. So I don't have to make medical claims. I never tell them anything about medicine or claims. I don't even want them to know I'm a doctor, because I tell them I see a difference, with, first of all, my parents.
Happy water.
They were laying in bed for a long time. Then all of a sudden they're dancing. So I don't know how come they're going out dancing. They're going on cruises, but before the water, they didn't do that. So I know the water does something to them that makes them feel better and want to get out more and start to have their lives back. So us too, the more water we drank, the more demonstrations we wanted to do, because we had energy to go till midnight. So basically, I think it's the basics that are most important, not the fancy websites, not the fancy technology, not being a doctor. It's better just to be basic, and you don't have to make any medical claims. You just let the people drink the water and let them feel for themselves. Maybe they'll sleep better. Maybe they'll, just because think of this. If you look up dehydration on the computer, look at all the problems. Older people don't drink water. I think a lot of problems when you get older and you're not drinking water, it's very hurtful, because the things we need, food, air, and water, we cannot live without. And we have the best water. So to me, you don't have to make a claim. You could just tell people you have to drink water. They know this. So why not drink clean water with ionized alkalinity and let the acid go on your skin and use the beauty water for your skin and face, but drink the alkaline. And it's as simple as that. You don't have to get technical. You don't have to make medical claims. We don't ever have to do that, because we just know that if people drink the water, there's going to be things that are going to happen. That's all.
So David's message is KISS. Keep it simple and stupid.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
And
you-
fun.
Because otherwise people would say, oh, you're this, you went to school, that's why you
I
do
gotta
well.
be go to school like David did for so many years.
He got away with not having to do
I
anything.
didn't go to school, so I'd say, oh, I can't do what he did.
But you went to the school of hard knocks in a way with other companies, you know, and Enagic, it's another thing. I haven't done this type of business networking ever in my life. But you know what? If you're friendly and people see you're smiling, they're drawn to you. Has nothing to do with what you have, or because so many times when I started, I just had my little mini car, my Mini Cooper, and we did the most sales when we were just, you know, in the beginning, and we're so excited because we love the water.
That was called Ignorance on Fire.
Yeah. You know, we didn't know much, but we were excited.
We didn't know anything.
That's what it is, right? The excitement. Plus your personalities came through and you have a lot of fun, like you say, right? That adds up.
Of
right?
course. That's why I think sometimes it's good in the beginning to have a friend. And if you don't, get one. Get a friend. Say, hey, look, you know, let's go
Make
have
a friend.
fun. Let's drive around, go to different places.
No, it's always fun to
Share the
do it.
water.
Yeah, to do it with someone, you know?
Yeah.
It creates a synergy, you know, that you have a core group of people you're working with and then start spreading. You know, everywhere we did that, we did Sunday barbecues, his house, we did something at Daniel's house. We had different people's homes and we would have, you know, groups would start coming to each location, moving around.
And when we went to a new city, like we went to Miami, you know, and the first day, you know, maybe I see a couple of people walking by and show them the water. But in a week or two, we have a whole nice group of people. So it shows wherever we went in the world, people want this water. It's no different. Human beings are human beings. They like good water. They like clean water. They want to feel like they're healthy. And this makes you feel good, drinking the water.
Without it, you die, right?
You have to have water.
Hey,
what-
gentlemen, we had a question about what kind of water did you start out handing out with? Was it 8.5, 9.0, or 9.5?
So probably not what Enagic would say, but you know, here's what I would tell people. I told them what I started on, which was 9.5. I told them what possibly could happen to them. I said it's the strongest water. I said if they were healthy, they could probably start 9.5 like me. I still got a slight headache for 2 days because it's going to cleanse and detoxify the body. You always want to let them know about detox. And then if they were older or something, I would start them on 8.5, but I would give them the option where they wanted to start based on the information that I gave them. And I let them know that it was highly possible they were going to experience, you know, detox.
And also people will even sometimes detox on 8.5 because they're so
Sure.
toxic. So you always have to tell people, I believe this is part of what we do, is telling people, look, you know, you're drinking something different and it may be some changes in your body. You may definitely have to go to the restroom more. Sometimes people feel like a little queasy because it's maybe, you know, going through the colon and it makes them go to the restroom more. So we just let them know in advance. And if I saw someone was very, you know, older, you know, and things like that, I always start them. Sometimes we had to mix the 7 and the 8.5, even if they were old and having problems or they were on other medications. You know, we want to always to tell them, listen, if you're on medicine, you know, make sure you do this separate because it makes the medicine more intense. So you want to make sure you protect the ship, protect Enagic always. So always let them know you may feel worse. And, you know, this happens.
Sure.
You know, just like when you work out, if you haven't worked out, the next day you're going to feel soreness and terrible, like you were run over. But it's still better to work out and exercise, just like the water.
Danny, we would always just say, this is what the company recommends, you know, and then I would just say, but this is what I did personally, you know. So it's just, when you ask questions of people, you find out, how healthy are they? Do they take prescription meds? Are they going to be toxic? So each one I just would, do some different choices with each person, depending on the person. If someone's an athlete, they're healthy, I go right to 9.5. I had a girl who was a fitness trainer, and I would do what David does. If you want someone to feel it, and I'd only do this with someone like that's healthy. I told this girl to drink 16 ounces of 9.5 as fast as she could.
Oh my goodness.
She goes, that's not it. She goes, I don't feel anything. I go, can you drink another 16-ounce glass? She goes, no problem. I gave her another 16-ounce glass of 9.5. She drank it right down really quick, right? She goes, I don't feel anything. I go, keep talking. In 30 seconds, she's going, whoa. She goes, I feel like I just drank a glass of wine. Because of that, she bought a machine right on the spot. Because she never felt water like that before.
Yeah.
So,
Same with Ukon. I give people Ukon, I don't tell them anything. And they go, maybe it's in my mind or something, but I feel so much better. And I said, yeah, it's probably just in your mind. Because most of the time we take vitamins, are things like supplements. I never felt anything in my life taking a supplement. But with the Ukon, sometimes you could feel a sense of more, your body just feels more fluid, more movable. And I like that feeling, especially when you're doing sports. So the Ukon, a lot of times I just give it to older people. I give them it to them for free. I buy it and I give it to them. I don't charge them. And they ended up signing up for Ukon. I don't know why, but they say it's doing something.
Because he's high on Ukon all the time.
and I drink, 6 or 7 liters of the water,
Well,
So-
these guys that are listening to you two today, they definitely should feel blessed because you two guys are very personable. If we could have poster children, you two would probably be it. Okay.
I'm gonna get a poster of you now.
We're gonna be on the same
And you two guys,
poster.
you're such a blast, and it's always nice to work with you guys. So.
As long as we don't see it on the post office.
All right.
That's why we wanted them together in one room because it's
Oh,
much more
no.
fun.
That's the first time we're doing this together.
We're not giving anybody permission to photograph that picture in the corner.
We're always doing something new here in this.
Oh,
program.
that's
Yeah,
good.
thank you for having
Thanks for having us on. What other questions?
What other questions?
Oh no, I'm down to 10 minutes.
Oh, you're done in 10 minutes. Well, one question for David.
Okay,
You have the purple plane and you have the purple car,
yes.
right? Is that
Yeah,
because of the
everything is
water?
purple. Yes,
So purple. We
I
saw
love
that.
purple.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my favorite color anyway. And
It is.
someone told me purple had to do with, if you look at the Queen of England, I think on her crown is purple velvet. Did you notice that?
No.
And purple means royalty. Did anybody know that?
Oh, I didn't know you were royalty.
I'm not royalty. I'm from New York. I'm Brooklyn. But anyway,
Brooklyn royalty.
I'm from really, I was a bad area.
Yes. So since we only have Bob for a few minutes, I think somebody wanted to ask him directly a question. Cynthia Phillips, do you want to unmute yourself and ask them your question?
Hi, you guys. You guys are so wonderful. I've heard you guys talk before, but I wanted to know if the Craigslist ads still work today. Do you guys still use them today, or do you think it's still effective today?
You know what? I haven't done a Craigslist ad in a while, but I was actually thinking of trying another one because now's the best time to go fishing. So, anything works. You just got to get it out there. Anytime you're getting someone calling you, you're just getting someone else to talk to and, spread the message. Some will, some won't. Someone else is waiting.
Yes.
So yeah, give it a try. I'm thinking of trying another one. I haven't done it in a while. you know, I'm trying to learn the Facebook and the social media, you know, stuff, because, you know.
But there's one good thing going on now. You know, we had a bad with this COVID thing, but when we started, it was 2007, 2008, 2009. And that was right after the recession. You know, the banks crashed, the bailout. And I looked for areas where there was unemployment, like Miami. We went to the desert. And, you know, to this day, Bob still has a group in Florida. And we have people in the desert. And we went there because the unemployment rates, because they were mainly in the hotel hospitality business. If you go to a vacation area and we put an ad in those vacation areas, people really weren't that concerned about health, but they were losing their houses. Their families were having problems. They were taking their kids out of school. They were having problems. They were moving back with the parents. So just think of this. If you're going to have to move back with your parents, with your wife and your kids, believe me, your parents are going to buy you a machine to give you a job before they want you to move back in the house with them. So this is my new idea that, you know, don't have your kids move back in, buy them a machine and let them have their own business, you know? And then what happened is people would sign up, not because we gave a good demo, they had to have a machine because they had to go home and tell their wife, I got a job today. I'm going to be an Enagic distributor with Bob or David. So this is going to be the way it's going to work. People are going to be, there's going to be the fallout of this whole pandemic is going to be, there's going to be a lot of unemployment, I feel, in 6 months. And I believe we can go back and like we did in the beginning, we can just go really all out massive action, you know, because when people are hurting, they'll look, they'll come. And if you show them the comp plan, they're more interested in being able to protect their assets, their family, their children, their wives, and the wives protect the husband, and they help each other. They work together as a family, and they have a new business. So if they were laid off or unemployed, we have the power to give them something, a tool and a business in a box, I call it. So that when you're buying that $4,000 machine or $5,000 machine, you're not just buying a machine for your health. You're buying something that opens you to the world, and you'll meet people you never met. You'll have sales if you really work it and you stick with it and you don't give up, and you don't know means not now. It doesn't mean never. Remember that. So don't get frustrated. So many people get frustrated. We just go, well, we can go see someone else now because we got time.
So I'm going to leave you guys with David, but before I go, because if you got more questions, David can answer them. I got to take kids horseback riding. But let me just give you, based on what David was saying there, someone's trying to give us money. Oh, it's Echo. I see Cynthia Brigante on here too. You're right above the other Cynthia Phillips. I thought that was Cynthia who was starting to talk. Anyways, here's my vision of the future, you guys. So just like what David mentioned, when we started, the economy was crashing, right? We didn't focus on the bad economy that was outside. We didn't focus on watching the negative news. We didn't have time for the news. No. We were just working so diligently, exposing people. We created our greatest financial success in the worst economy. Now just think about that. We created our greatest financial success in the worst economy. We didn't have time for what was going on in the economy. We created our own economy inside of Enagic. So that's what everyone has the opportunity, what David was mentioning. Now the fallout is going to be much worse. Millions upon millions of people around the world, could be hundreds of millions of people lost their jobs, businesses closing. Think about that, businesses closing. How many small businesses went out of business, right? Or still going to go out of business. Those are entrepreneurs that are not employable, right? They're going to be looking for opportunity, especially that they can get into with little money compared to opening like, you know,
Yeah,
a
right.
restaurant or whatever, you know,
You pay 400
50,
grand.
hundreds of thousands of dollars, $4,000 or $5,000 is nothing. That's the mindset you guys have to have.
Yeah,
It's
it is
nothing
to start a
compared to
business.
starting a business. That's
No-
David, half a
No
million.
employees,
Yeah.
no insurance, no workers' comp, no rent, you know, I would, like I told Bob, do I have a choice? I could open another business and spend 400,000 and wait for years and years to break even or go out of business, or I can buy that little machine and have great health for myself and my family, even if it didn't work out, but I have the chance to become very well, you know,
We'll build a huge
well off,
organization.
just
Yeah. So
with that little business in a box.
yeah, so the price is nothing, you guys. That's what you got to get
I
in your
think it
head.
is. We had no tools when we started. We didn't even have Bob's video.
Sure, we didn't know. We
didn't
had
have
one. We had
Bob.
one DVD that showed the presentation. You know,
It was
Nothing.
the worst video.
you guys have so many tools today to expose people. So really, all you have to get doing is, I would, just like we did 14 years ago, I would just work like crazy. The next 2 to 5 years, I believe more people will enter Enagic in the next 2 to 5 years than have entered in all of Enagic's history. Imagine,
Yep.
Enagic's over 40 years old. I believe 2 to 5 years, more people. So what, Danny, do you know what we're at now? About 1.5 million?
Oh, you're talking about total sales?
Yeah, total people,
Total.
total sales, total people
Well,
that have come
The
into
total
Enagic.
sales, that's about right, but as far
About
as,
1,500,000 people.
but as far as active distributors, we're,
No, not,
No,
yeah,
we
we
know
don't know
that.
about active, but most people are customers, but 1.5 million had entered. I believe in the next 2 to 5 years, more than 1.5 million people will enter in the next 2 to 5 years.
oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Based on what's going on in the world, people are looking more than ever. And you guys, all you have to do is work like crazy. Well, however you're exposing people, whether it's face-to-face, whether it's personal contacts, whether it's online, you know, no matter how you meet someone, you still have to meet someone, make a friend, and then you can then bring in a business partner, okay? Whether it's a customer or a
Yes.
business partner. It doesn't matter how you meet them, you know, all these, you know, the social media experts, the online marketers, you know, you still have to meet somebody online, you still have to make a friend, and then you can introduce them and bring them in the business. And people want to work with someone they like and someone they trust.
And someone's happy.
Exactly. And have fun doing it. You guys, and I believe Enagic is going to see its greatest growth in the next 2 to 5 years. So my vision of the future, you guys have to, the biggest thing you could do is increase, expand at your vision of where not only Enagic's going, but where you and your team are going.
Yes, and
That's my vision of the future for you guys.
You're going out.
I'm gonna leave David. If you want to
Okay.
ask more questions, I gotta take a couple kids to ride some horses. I thank you. I appreciate you. Love you all and look forward to seeing you either on the next Zoom or some event around the world.
Yes, Bob. Thank you, Bob. So
If you
much.
want
Want me to
more,
stay
you
a few
can
minutes
stay.
or no?
Appreciate it. But don't go, David. We want
Okay,
you
they
to
want you for more.
stay with
I
us.
want to ride a horse though.
Okay, there is a question from